guys, welcome back to Fairies Tutorials. Now, in today's session, we'll be looking at a particular dairy product. This dairy product, when used as a cooking medium such as sauteing vegetables, it adds flavor to the food. It is also used in baked goods to add flavor and texture. And also in sauces, it adds complexity and also contributes to flavor as well. While some persons just have it on a toast. Now, can you tell which dairy product we'll be looking at in today's session? If you said butter, you are correct. So we're looking at butter and also the byproduct, which is buttermilk. Stay tuned. Section 4. Food Science and Technology. Production of common food commodities. And in today's session, we're still looking at dairy products, and in particular, we'll be looking at butter and buttermilk. Now, let us look at the focus points. So, we'll be defining some key concepts. We'll be looking at some general facts about butter, exploring the production process of butter and buttermilk. Now, in setting the foundation for today's lessons, it is a must that we define few key concepts, and these concepts are creamery, churning, and also cream. Now, creamery. Creamery refers to a place where milk and cream are processed and where butter and cheese are produced, right? The next concept is churning. And churning is the process of shaking up cream to make butter. Cream. Cream refers to the thick white or pale yellow fatty liquid which rises to the top of milk when it's allowed to stand. It can be eaten as an accompaniment for desserts or used as a cooking ingredient. Now guys, let us look at some general facts about butter, right? So butter is made by churning cream. Remember the process of churning? And remember what cream is? So churning is the shaking up, the rigorous shaking up of milk, right? And cream is that white or pale yellow liquid that forms when milk is allowed to stand. Good. So butter is made by churning cream. It is usually then colored artificially and either salted or left unsalted and packaged then sold. Good. It can be frozen for a longer shelf life but should ideally be refrigerated. Also, it offers saturated fats as it is an animal product. Good. Now guys, let us zoom in on the production process of butter. Now, based on this flow chart that is displayed on your right, you can see that the first stage is what? Raw milk. So after the milk has been brought in, fresh milk from the dairy, is raw milk, right? And raw milk refers to milk that hasn't been processed, so it hasn't been pasteurized or homogenized. So raw milk straight from the cow. So raw milk, right? And then the next process is, you notice the next step, we have raw cream versus raw skimmed milk, right? So the milk and cream are separated, so it is allowed to stand, and then the cream, which has the higher fat content, and this is separated from the raw skim milk, meaning that all what the remainder, which is the whey, is known as skimmed milk, and there is no fat found in that component, right? Now, this is possible because the milk is raw milk, labels as raw milk, so therefore it hasn't been through the process of homogenization, right, which allows the milk granules, the fat granules, to disperse in the milk. So raw milk, when it allows to stand, it will separate, and the curd now is the curd or the cream is now separated from the raw skimmed milk. Good. The next process now, guys, is pasteurization, right? And this sometimes happens particularly in Europe, where after the milk has been pasteurized to kill the harmful bacteria, it is then inoculated with bacteria culture. Right, good. The next step now is the ripening of the cream. And the ripening also allows to where the milk allows to stand. So we speak of the aging process. After that is done, then the butter fat starts to crystallize. Now, during churning, the butter granules are created, and at this point, it is drained and washed. Now, the remaining liquid from the butter granules, it is what is called the buttermilk, right? And the solid component now would have been the raw butter. Now, at this point, salt may be added or salt may not be added, and after that, then the butter is ready for grocery stores, so persons can purchase and do whatever they desire to prepare with the butter. Now, let us look at the steps in a little more details, right? So, step 1. Fresh milk from dairy products is collected and brought to the creamery. Good. Fresh milk, same as we say raw milk. That means no form of processing was done to the milk. Step 2. The cream is then separated from the fresh whole milk using centrifugal forces. And when we speak of centrifugal forces, we're speaking of the rapid spinning of the milk to get it separated. Step 3. It is then pasteurized by heating it rapidly to a high temperature to eliminate potential disease-causing bacteria, and also to help the butter stay fresh for longer. Good. So the process of pasteurization also kills harmful microorganisms or bacteria, and it also allows the butter to increase the shelf life of the butter. Right. So step 4. Once pasteurized, the cream is beaten vigorously in a churning cylinder until it thickens and naturally forms butter. Now step 5. After the butter is formed, the butter granules are made, there are some remaining liquid that is left. And this remaining liquid is known as the buttermilk. It is then drained off and the butter is mixed and blended. And at this point, you have salt may be added for persons who desire to have salted butter, or salt may not be added, and therefore you would have unsalted butter. And the liquid that remains after butter production, remember, that is known as the buttermilk. Now, the final product is, by regulation, at least 80% fat, about 16% water, and 3% milk solids. After being weighed, cotton wrapped, and chilled, the butter is delivered to grocery stores. Awesome. Now that we're at the end, based on the focus points that were outlined, you should be able to define the following terms. And these terms are creamery, churning, and cream. Give two statements about butter. Outline the production process of butter, and also explain the process that produces buttermilk. Awesome, you have made it to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share with persons who you know will find this information useful. Thank you for making it Fair's Tutorials.